Good luck sleeping tonight with this villain I'm about to put on your radar. You will be trying to snooze with one eye open and one eye on your phone, looking for any Ring doorbell alerts. Because there's a menace on the loose, there's a maniac afoot, and SpongeBob isn't here to catch him yet. We're talking about the Porch Pooper. An elusive, nefarious scoundrel that's leaving undesired presence on the front door of one man in particular at the moment. But this could be just the beginning of a crime spree.
You probably heard of porch pirates, but what about porch poopers? Don't know any other way to say it.
I can think of like 100 other ways to say it. Why didn't you just ask me? But I will say, Porch Pooper, I think, is very solid. That's a great alliteration that just flows off the tongue. But I've got some cool names for this cryptid. Feel free to use them. The Patio Shadio, Spready Fazbear, Poop Shitman. I'm partial to Poop Shitman myself. It sounds like the name of a Kojima character, like Die Hard Man.
Right now, LMPD is looking for a man who has been using the bathroom on Louisville homeowner's porch all week long. Ward Jollish tracked down the homeowner and spoke with him about being targeted by a porch pooper.
That's the last kind of person you want to be targeted by. That's like being hunted down by Jason Bourne right there. A porch pooper has set his sights on this one homeowner in particular for no reason that they can figure out yet. It seems like random act of shit.
Listen, a warning. While we won't show you everything, okay? We won't show you everything. Some may be grossed out by this video.
When I first watched this, I actually thought this was about to be some kind of like sly plug for their Patreon or something, or like exclusive membership content on their YouTube channel. Look, we're not going to show you everything here, but sub to the Patreon or join on YouTube and you get the full ass blasto experience here, poop and all. More butt cheek and more feces than you can handle. Enjoy to your heart's content. But it's just her letting viewers know, like, hey, there's a dude fucking squatty pottying on this guy's front door, and even though we censored it, it's still kind of yucky.
It all started with this. Sunday night, a young man in a red shirt walks up to one Louisville home well after midnight and begins peering inside. The homeowners have no clue. After a few seconds, the man runs away in his socks and disappears into the night. But the next night, he returns and leaves a horrific surprise.
There's a lot to unpack here. If you ask me, it doesn't seem like he's in his right mind. He's got to be under the influence of something, it looks like. Because he's approaching the door and he starts doing this with his hands like he's fucking putting binoculars on to see inside of it, about to use x-ray vision or something. I know it's an effective strategy when you actually get to the door so you can see in a little bit better and focus, but he was doing it like from way too far away for that to be useful at all. And of course you have to be off your goddamn gourd to take a shit on a stranger's doorstep. But what's even weirder about this is that it was a premeditated shitting. It wasn't like some kind of impulse thing where he just had the bubble guts and just couldn't hold it in anymore, the dam broke. He went to the house one night, cased the joint basically, scoping out the scenery, making sure it's like the optimal place to take a shit. Came back the following night after cooking it up, like charging his alt for 24 hours, and then released the payload. Like, he just took the dump the following night. So this was something that he had planned out from the sound of it. And looking at the footage, he was wearing the same outfit. At least if this footage is the proper timeline, where he went to the house first just looking at everything, and then came back the next night taking the shit, he's wearing the exact same clothes, so he didn't even like bathe or change in that time.
Tuesday morning, I went out to my front porch and noticed this, what I thought was a cat poop.
The homeowner, who wishes to remain anonymous but who we'll refer to as Jim, then checked his doorbell camera and realized it was no cat at all.
And it turned out to be a person. And not only did he defecate, but he also urinated on our welcome mat.
This seems personal, but the homeowner Jim has no idea who this guy is or why he would do this in the first place. And to make matters even worse, I'm pretty sure I have that exact same pair of pants that the porch pooper is wearing. So I may have been burgled by this gentleman. Maybe he broke into my house in the middle of the night, stole my pants, and left a fucking surprise somewhere that I haven't found yet. And now he's wearing my pants while shitting around the town.
What's even more disturbing is that the man returned a third time the very next night. Jim got an alert on his phone and tried to confront him, but the man was already gone.
You have no idea who this guy is or why he's doing this?
I have no idea. We're good neighbors. We, keep to ourselves. We behave ourselves. And
he was visited 3 times, like the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. But the only gift he was given was the gift of a fucking colon cleansing on his front porch. And in all 3 instances captured on the doorbell camera, he's wearing the same clothes. This guy didn't bathe or change over the course of 3 different public shitting incidents. His hygiene stinks. This guy fucking super sucks. I imagine him going around town, he has like this cartoonish stink cloud that follows him around. He is probably unbearable to be near. Holy shit.
Jim has now filed 3 police reports for each night his home has been targeted, but so far, no arrest. Just a big mess he's now forced to clean up.
I'm relieved that he's not violent or he's not trying to force entry. He's just doing his deed. But it's very disconcerting and disturbing.
In Louisville, Ward Jollis, Wave News.
Now, I did wonder if the news broadcast had just repeated footage here when they did the side-by-side, because it looks so similar. He goes to pretty much the exact same spot, like down to the millimeter, and he spends about the exact same amount of time shitting, which I find to just be highly unlikely, unless this guy is some kind of anus specialist, the butt whisperer, and he's trained his ass to be extremely strict with how long shitting takes. Then it just seems weird that it's pretty much the exact same across all 3 instances. But it is very possible because when to debunk myself, when he stands up in some of the shitting there, he reacts differently. So like in one of them, he looks at the door, and the other one, he doesn't and just immediately looks to the left and goes away. So it probably is separate instances. I just still find it shocking how consistent he was with it. Same position, same location, same duration, and same clothing. It's like when he's not shitting on this guy's front porch, he just enters stasis and then comes back the next night in the exact same outfit and everything. It's just so peculiar. So yeah, hopefully they catch the porch pooper sooner rather than later. I'd hate to see more homes ruined by such foul fecal matter being spread haphazardly like this in locations where it shouldn't be. So yeah, hopefully Jim no longer has to deal with this porch pooper, and I just wanted to make you all aware of this so you can take precautions. If you hear a rumbling of a tummy in the middle of the night, sprint to your front door ASAP, because you might be able to catch the porch pooper. Yeah, so that's about it. See ya. Hoo-wee. Do I have something special to share with you today? It's been a little while since I've just dragged something wacky into your lap and set it down like a cat bringing in a mouse from outside. It's rare that I see a video in 2023 that leaves me confused and even a bit shocked by what I just witnessed. That just happened today. I saw this video a few hours ago, and I couldn't get it out of my head because there's so many questions with so little answers.
Ok. J'étais en train de manger, ça fait 3 quarts d'heure qu'il est là, devant ma voiture. Et voilà qu'il se met à lécher ma voiture.
The look on this man's face conveys 1,000 different emotions, and all of them are off-putting. He looks like he's cheating on his SATs and cautiously looking around to make sure no one's looking at him to catch him in the act. He almost looks a little bit proud as well. This is clearly some kind of weird fetish from this guy, and this isn't the first car fetishist. In fact, I watched a whole documentary on a guy who loves fucking cars, so he'll like make out with cars, and a camera crew actually went out to film an entire like piece on him, and they were staying in a hotel, and one evening he actually went and busted a nut on their SUV in the middle of the fucking night. The guy is not even like a car fetishist, he's a car rapist. It wasn't even his vehicle, so I can only imagine the heartbreak and betrayal that his car must have felt at that moment. Unless, of course, they're not monogamous. I actually don't remember all the details on that. But regardless, if that guy was cruising your neighborhood or the local Walmart parking lot, make sure you got a chastity belt on your car's muffler, because he is coming for that cussy like a man possessed. He was a fiend. I'm getting sidetracked. The point is, there are car fetishists out there, and this dude is probably one of them, I would imagine. Or this is his desperate, pitiful attempt at getting this woman's attention to try and, like, flirt with her somehow by throwing himself on top of her car and sexually licking it, tongue-fucking it, like he's trying to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. I don't know, but he's doing it right in front of not only her, but her spaghetti as well. The spaghetti that's sitting like right in front of her steering wheel. You know, he's got no shame, clearly.
C'est un mec, mais trop bizarre. Allez, dégage! Allez, dégage! Dégage! Allez, dégage!
I've got to tell you, I don't think this was the best decision from her given these circumstances. Blasting the windshield wiper fluid was probably the most erotic moment of that man's life. He clearly curls his toes when watching the car's animated films, and now you've just convinced him that his cunnilingus on your car was so good that he made it squirt. Now he thinks it's a squirter. So he absolutely filled his trousers there, blew the whole load.
Allez, dégage! Mais dégage de ma voiture!
Oh, also, she was backing up while doing this, so he was actually like waddling along with her car while holding on to the hood and licking it. He is determined. Now, I've tried looking up information about exactly what was going on here, like what led up to this moment. Is this just a complete stranger? At first, when I watched this, I thought it was the security guard. I was like, wow, that's one hell of a way of enforcing order at the business place, I suppose, if she wasn't supposed to be parking there. Instead of like asking her to leave or anything, just immediately start licking the car and freak her out enough to make her want to leave. It is a bold, interesting strategy, but I couldn't really find anything like that. All I've seen is people hypothesizing what could have been the cause here, and the leading theory seems to suggest that this guy just wanted her parking spot and she wouldn't budge, so he hopped on top of her hood and started licking it as like a gross out kind of thing to make her want to get out of that spot. And I guess that would make sense to a certain degree if you're a fucking psychopath. Like, I don't know who's going that far for a fucking parking spot. Just park somewhere else.
Non mais je suis en train de rouler, le mec il reste sur ma voiture.
Boss battle completed. She managed to get him off the hood by just accelerating, driving away. And he holds on for quite a little while there. He goes on a little adventure, really gripping onto the hood tight like it's a fucking roller coaster ride. But then eventually she slows down and he gets off and runs away, I guess. What a wild encounter, though. This is one of those weird random events in like an MMO almost. It feels so odd that this actually happened, and I have no fucking idea why it happened at all. And also, while she was driving away with him on the hood, it really looked like a green screen. Like, it actually just looked like him in front of a fucking green screen. It was so comical. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to share this because I've been thinking about it ever since I watched it this afternoon. So, yeah, that's really about it. So, yeah. A couple nights ago on stream during the premiere of Season 3, was going over some wacky stories, and someone put a little something nefarious on my radar. The story of a man named Kevin Van Loven, a name that lives in infamy. You may be familiar with Mick Loven, but you do not want to know the tale of Van Loven, that much I assure you. Kevin Van Loven was a home inspector who in 2021 performed some despicable acts of degeneracy on a Tickle Me Elmo doll. And yes, it's exactly what you're thinking. Van Loven went from home inspector to chode injector, putting his wiener all in and around the mouth of a Tickle Me Elmo doll in a child's nursery of a home that he was hired to inspect. Obviously pretty disgusting stuff. The man is by all definitions a predator. And, you know, actually, instead of just telling you the story, I'm just going to show you the clips from the stream real quick, and then I'll come in at the end and go over a bit more with what I've learned on Van Loven since the Elmo fucking. Have you seen the home inspection guy who had fun with a Tickle Me Elmo on Law and Crime? You put had fun in quotes, which makes me think it's something dubious. Home inspector caught pleasuring himself with Elmo doll. Oh, jeez, man. That's not... Elmo never wanted any of that to happen. That's not what Sesame Street's all about. Come on, man. Having him tickle you? What the fuck? Do they show anything? Because I really want to learn more about this now. Here, let me skim through on the other monitor real quick.
Well, you certainly don't hear this one every day.
You're wrong. I actually do hear that every day. Thank you very much. I can't go down the street without walking into a man that hasn't pleasured himself with an Elmo doll. What a ridiculous assumption. It's like he's never heard of Tampa. Yeah, I think we're good. Alright, let's see. Why would he do such a thing? That's a good mugshot, too. This looks like an Elmo fucker. He's got some crazy hair. He's got, Christopher Lloyd in Food Fight hair. I can't remember the villain's name. Hold on, let me look him up real quick.
Well, you certainly...
Not quite. I misremembered. I thought it was less spiky.
Thank goodness for that, because a Michigan family had trusted a home inspector to look over their property as they got ready to sell, but when they checked their home security system, they spotted him violating their trust in one of the most egregious ways imaginable. He was pleasuring himself in the child's nursery with an Elmo toy. Yeah, pretty sickening stuff here. We'll go over how this unfolded, what happened to him.
Wait, is this the same guy? What they hit him with an age beam. Wow. Whoa. This is two different dudes sharing one body.
How this could have escalated if he hadn't been caught. And I'm going to break it all down.
His face says he'll do it again, too.
Chris Hansen.
Hide your
Welcome to
Elmos.
Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. We go back, unfortunately, to March of 2021. A family in Oxford Township, Michigan.
Rough year for Sesame Street
was
plushies.
putting their house up for sale. That home inspector was Kevin Wayne Van Loven, of nearby Clarkston. And of course,
that's the perfect name. Kevin Van Loven? The guy who fucked Elmo? You couldn't write that any better. Is this not like a planned thing? Is he not playing a role?
And zips up his pants. You can see what that object is. He is holding a red Elmo doll.
So, okay. So, the actual Jerkin. My God, I'm malfunctioning. So the event took place over here, and then he brought Elmo over here. Why? I thought what happened is he put Elmo on the ground, and that's where he did the deed. But that's not the case. He's actually moving Elmo from the scene of the crime. So it seems like he knew the camera was here, because he put his back to it for the coitus, and then goes off camera to put it down over here. He had to know. And if you pay close attention, you can see Elmo blinking an SOS, like that old POW video that floats around occasionally. He was letting Elmo inspect his pants. That's true. Maybe it is just part of the job.
A
thorough inspection.
Elmo doll. Yeah. Walks across the room, places the doll somewhere off camera, and as he adjusts it, you can actually hear that signature Elmo laugh on the security camera. Tell me that's not just the most incredibly unsettling thing you've seen, but...
That's like straight out of the Joker. That is like actually in the Joker 2 when they fucking sexually assault him and he has the condition where he's laughing. Elmo just did that to the home inspector. Holy. Fucking traumatized him.
In my career, but never one who was preying on a child's toy. A Sesame Street character. What a sacrilege.
Well, get out there. Let's take him
how do you
down.
even begin to It's disturbing.
It makes me wonder if there was a plan. If he knew, like, does he just walk in and find a toy that he, or is it like, I'm trying to.
Why don't we ask him? We have him in jail.
If this was in a way premeditated.
Is this something that would have continued into a more violent human contact crime? I mean,
What was this guy's name? Why are we speculating? We can just ask him, hey, why'd you pop your Winky in Elmo's mouth in the children's nursery? We can ask him what the fuck the plan was or the thought process. Surely Kevin Van Loven isn't, tight-lipped about his degeneracy. During questioning, Van Loven said he moved the doll to inspect an electrical outlet but did nothing else. When told there was a camera in the nursery, Van Loven allegedly made incriminating statements and apologized. No, what? I was just moving Elmo. He was blocking an electrical outlet, so I had to fucking strangle him down there like Homer Simpson around Bart. And you guys just got it all wrong. Whoa, what is this? It says home inspector who committed unspeakable act with Tickle Me Elmo doll in children's bedroom is busted again. Did they let him out after the first Elmo outing? A perverted Michigan home inspector caught on camera pleasuring himself with Tickle Me Elmo has been busted for violating his probation. He was on probation? He was found guilty of aggravated indecent exposure and sentenced to 19 days behind bars in October 2022, following the unspeakable act. But he was convicted yet again in January 2024 for violating his probation. This should have been a very serious charge that they wouldn't just let him out on. Yeah, and they make a good point. What if he had an STD and our son played with that? What if we just didn't know? We have a toddler and a newborn baby, too. There's nothing worse than when someone comes into your home and you trust them to do a job and they do something like that in your child's bedroom. Yeah, for sure. If they didn't catch him, that Elmo doll just gets used. Like, the guy's a fucking predator. Like, why is he let out? Yeah, so he got 19 days and an 18-month probation. So the jury found him guilty on the indecent exposure, but they found him not guilty on the destruction of property because there was a lack of DNA evidence on the doll. So because there was no bust, they had to adjust the charges. So he didn't get hit with the destruction of property, just the indecent exposure. And then he actually violated his probation last year, but I can't find any info on how he violated the probation. Maybe he found access to another doll's orifice somewhere in the world and got caught in the act again. I couldn't tell you. But he got let off pretty easy for the Elmo thing. I don't think it was taken super seriously, even though I think it's a pretty big deal. Because who's to say he hasn't done this before in other homes that he's inspected? He went to a child's room, a room that is actively being used by a child, and put his genitals all over one of their toys. And if that wasn't captured on camera, it would have never come to light, and that child would have used that toy, played with it, and who knows what could have happened. Like, it is absolutely revolting stuff. So I think he got let off really easy, and hopefully, now that he's violated that probation again, he won't get off easy again. So I just wanted to talk about this story a bit because it's a fucking wild one. That's really about it. See ya. Today I got to thinking about a classic Dr. Phil weirdo that went on to his show. This was back during the era of Dr. Phil being a bit of a kingmaker for social media superstars, most notably Danielle Bregoli, who got her start by going on Dr. Phil with the Cash Me Outside stuff. And for a little while we saw a flood of this. It became quite the hype train to go on Dr. Phil, to act as over the top as possible to try and make a career out of it. Most of the time it felt very phony baloney where the individual was just putting on a song and a dance to try and get some kind of social media career out of it, and Dr. Phil was just the helpful lightning rod saying insightful things like, "Hey, come on now, that's not good. Have you ever heard of Farmville?" when he's plugging his mobile game ads. But there was one goofball in particular who, back in 2017, kind of took the internet by storm for a moment. His name was the Sexy Vegan. At the time, I assumed this was just a load of horseradish with another person going on his show to try and squeeze some juice out of his teats, get some followers out of the appearance and the performance, and wasn't genuine. But it was entertaining, and today I started thinking about it again, so I went and rewatched the episode and decided to check in to see what the sexy vegan is up to all these years later. Well, it turns out I was a naive fool back then, because the sexy vegan is realer than the freckle on my left butt cheek. The guy is actually off his gourd. So I'm going to show you clips from the episode here in a moment if you don't remember who he is. It actually is just a wild appearance. But he got arrested in 2019 for sexually assaulting a pit bull. Apparently, he had recorded an act, basically bestiality, with a pit bull and got in trouble for it, obviously, and then announced his presidency in like 2020, and even today, well, I guess a couple months ago to be exact, is still trying to lobby as a presidential candidate and still doing the exact same shit that he went on Dr. Phil for. Like, actually doing all of it, from what I can tell. So let's go ahead and see the episode to get you all caught up to speed with the sexy vegan.
Susan says in August of 2016, Hans legally changed his name to Sexy Vegan.
I didn't even know you could do that. It's a real-life McLovin situation here. I know people have changed their names to really silly, ridiculous things in the past, but I thought there were certain guidelines that you had to play by, and I thought something like this would be prohibited. Like, no, sir, you can't change your name to this. Get out of our office. And then they spit on you on your way out or something. Because I know you can't change your name to a slur or anything like that, right? So I just assumed sexy vegan would also fall into the category of being like an obscenity that they wouldn't legally allow you to change your name to. So when this first aired, I thought that was a huge red flag that it was all fake. Like, just all bogus. But from what I can tell, it really is his name.
And now he walks the streets wearing nothing but a Speedo, carries a full-length mirror wherever he goes. Susan says her son tattooed Sexy Vegan on his forehead, has been arrested 15 times, and refuses to get a job because he's, quote, too talented and beautiful for a 9-to-5.
That pretty much sums up sexy vegan in a nutshell here. So Dr. Phil lays out the lore for you with the cliff notes. He then brings on people closest to Mr. Sexy, and they kind of go through like the effect that it's had on their family and all of that, and how desperately they want it to not be the case. The audience can't help but laugh at him because he has fundamentally turned himself into a clown. He is disruptive in society and tries to get all eyes on him all the time, and people can't help but giggle at the absurdity of him and what he's doing. He actually does travel with a full-body mirror, like he's some kind of character out of an MMO, and the mirror is like his special weapon that he can't leave the house without. He actually does that, apparently. It wasn't just for show on Dr. Phil, which blows my mind.
My name is Sexy Vegan. I got my name legally changed to Sexy Vegan. Hans no longer fits me. When people see the tattoos, they're shocked. I'm a strict vegan. I once was down to 1.3% body fat. The beautiful vegan messiah.
So another thing that jumped out at me when I first watched that was the tattoos looking really cartoonish. It looks like he puts them on his face with marker every morning as opposed to being legitimate tattoos. But again, I was wrong. A victim of my own hubris, thinking I knew tattoos just because I get some. They're real. Those are actual tattoos. I don't know exactly why he'd get just the word vegan tattooed on himself so much, unless he was really trying to take a page out of Suicide Squad Joker's playbook with like ha 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 written all over him. I don't really get it. If you want to have vegan tattooed on your body, why not choose a better font as opposed to fucking Comic Sans or the bubble letters here?
When I go out, everyone stares at me because I wear a Speedo-esque outfit and I'm exotic like a Lamborghini SV. I love walking around in my Speedos because putting clothes on is like putting a tarp over a Lamborghini, which makes no sense, and I get for that all the time. When I go into a grocery store, I'm followed around by the security, which is so annoying.
If that's annoying, then just put on some goddamn clothes. It's the simplest solution of all time. Just tarp up the Lamborghini during the rainstorm, right? And that rainstorm is called shopping and being in public and having some decency. It's not that difficult. It's making a mountain out of a molehill here. It takes 2 seconds to just put on some clothes.
I'm drop dead gorgeous and a great singer-dancer. I can make it on my talents. I have several YouTube videos. I see myself in 5 to 20 years getting my own reality show, segueing that into a high-ranking government position, either first American king or president.
I cut out a good chunk of his monologue here. He very much dislikes his mother, who seems extremely sweet based on what I've seen. Like, she pays for all of his legal fees. He leeches off her money because his mother has $11 million as an inheritance, so he does come from money, and he tries to suck as much of that out as he can. He refuses to get a job because he thinks he's far too talented for it, and believes that he will pop off because of his talent, his God-given abilities, and eventually land a reality TV show which he will then use to get a position in the government. And with that whole speech he gave right there, back when I first saw it, I was convinced that it was pretty obvious this guy wasn't being serious. It was all just to promote his YouTube channel and his Instagram. I still think that was the primary objective here, but it seems like he really is convinced of this. It seems he may legitimately be delusional, because he is still doing this today, from what I can tell on his social media platforms, which is wild.
You're an enabler, but you can't help it.
Yeah.
Why are we here then? What do you want me to? You want me to help it? What do you want me to do?
I just had to slide this clip in here from the episode. Fucking Dr. Phil hitting her with the, well, what do you want me to do about it? What am I supposed to do about it? What do you want me to do about it? Like, he looked offended. Like, I almost expected him to, like, jump out of his chair and lunge at her. What do you want me to do about it, huh? Like, what do you mean? Like, why are you confused? Obviously, she wants you to help in some capacity. You've convinced an entire generation of Americans that you are extremely effective at solving family disputes and things that like this that she is taking to you and putting on your plate. Obviously, she wants you to do something to help her. Well, why are you acting this way?
Maybe he'll come out and talk to us. Maybe he won't. I really don't care one way or the other. This train is moving on. If he jumps on board, he does. If he doesn't, we're moving on. We'll be right back.
The way Dr. Phil handles his show is always so fascinating to me. How anyone ever bought into the idea that this guy is somehow the authority on matters like this, or solving problems, really, to be, like, more broad. He treats his show like it's all such a burden to him, like it's all just such a nuisance. Everyone that comes on, he treats like a pest, from what I've seen. So here he's like, maybe he comes out, maybe he doesn't. I don't care. We're gonna get this show on the road. Maybe he hops aboard, maybe he doesn't. What do you want me to do about it? What am I supposed to do about it? Who gives a fuck? Right in front of this family here, like right in front of them, like to their face. Like, come on, like it's ridiculous. Now, of course, I'm sure the family did receive some kind of compensation for appearing on the show. I don't exactly know how the formula works. Maybe they get paid to just appear, so it probably isn't the biggest deal in the world. Maybe they weren't super upset about it or anything. But it's just so weird to me, because so many people, when I was growing up, really thought Dr. Phil was basically like a saint, and really insightful and helpful. But every time I've ever watched him, even when I was young, I was just confused on why anyone ever thought that. Like, he doesn't seem like he does anything besides just be bored by the people's stories.
My image is very important to me. I look at my collection of mirrors all the time to study myself and my beauty. When I dance in front of the mirror, I can create a really striking image. Skinny with a big butt, I got junk in my trunk, but I'm keeping it. The mirrors go with me wherever I go, because I want to know what I look like.
To be honest, that little jingle that he dropped right there, skinny with a big butt, junk in the trunk, but I'm keeping it, I actually think was ahead of its time. That would probably do really well in today's modern landscape of pop music, like with TikTok blowing shit up. He probably would have done really well in 2024 if he dropped that jam. But here's him explaining why he carries around a mirror so he can constantly be reminded of his beauty.
People say that I'm narcissistic because I carry on a mirror wherever I go, but I don't care because I'm not, because I have empathy. I'm currently banned from the Beverly Hills Library for bringing the mirror in, but I'm looking to get that resolved.
Well, there you have it. Checkmate. He can't be narcissistic because he has empathy. And he's also been banned from that library. I don't know if it ever got resolved. I couldn't find a follow-up to it, so I guess that's for only Sexy Vegan, the librarian god, to know if that ever got overturned.
I am the beautiful vegan messiah.
Get you that water, okay?
It's a song. I didn't say I was, and she knows it. I was just like my dad, okay? 10 luxury cars. My dad told me I had the same name as him until I legally changed it. My mom did not bail me out of jail when she knew I was innocent. I'm liberating over 70 billion pigs in cages so small that cannot move for years, okay?
There's a lot happening right now. Let's just take a breather together and process. Let it digest for a moment. He comes out guns blazing. He comes out with some steam here. You can see the security's like, hey, come on, we'll get you some water. And that water's not coming. That water would do nothing to stop this here. This fire is burning, and it's burning bright. So he comes out, and he's got a lot of scrambled thoughts here that he's trying to convey, and it's hard to keep track of them. So I believe the beautiful vegan messiah is like his catchphrase or his song, I suppose, like his theme song, perhaps like a WWE entrance or something. Maybe he was expecting pyrotechnics to go off when he walked in. Not entirely sure.
My mom's a sociopathic piece of I have the highest score in Hot or Not history. I got 9.9 out of 10 after 327 women rated me. Let's see your talent.
I love that line right there. Let's see your talent. It reminds me of that amazing trumpet fight video from like 5 or 6 years ago, where the guy's melting down about a trumpet player in public, and then he goes, in 1975, I walked Bob Dylan up on stage. Who the fuck are you? You no talent piece of shit. Oh, God. Oh, that's what I get for invoking the wrath of the trumpet player. Whoa. Okay. Point is, great line. So, I don't know about the whole hot or not pop quiz right there with the trivia. I don't know if that's true or not. Weird thing to be flexing about, too, as he's moonwalking onto stage. Like, hey, I have the highest score in hot or not history with 300-something women saying I'm good looking, I'm super hot. Sounds entirely made up, but I have no way of fact-checking that. I'm just going to assume he pulled it out of his ass. That was some of the junk in the trunk. Just this lie.
Let's see your talent, you ugly piece of
Okay, stop. Hey, look at me.
Let's
look
see
at
your
me.
talent.
No, hey. No, you need to look at me.
I don't have to do
Okay, take him out. Security, get him out of here.
Thank God. Thank God.
No.
An incredible finale. I like when he gets up to Dr. Phil, he hits him with like 3 little pumps right here. He just gets him with like a triple tap. Then it's right back to moonwalking. He's just spamming Fortnite emotes here while just saying that they don't have talent and that they're ugly pieces of shit. And then Dr. Phil finally says, enough is enough. No more fooling around. Get him out of here. So then he leaves. Security gets him. I appreciate the audience here, though. Like, there's some boos, and then there's a couple of claps. I'd love to know what they were clapping for, because I wonder if they're clapping like, yeah, Dr. Phil, you got him. The security got him out of here. Thanks for that. Or if they're clapping because, yeah, that was a great performance, Sexy Vegan. I imagine it's probably the former, but I like to play with the fanfic that it's the latter. Like, there was a couple Sexy Vegan fans in there. They're like, yeah, Sexy Vegan, yeah.
You're not going to come out here and use that kind of language in front of my audience. And audience, I apologize. That is childish
Awesome.
and immature behavior. And
Now I get to leave.
yes, you do.
No.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
That's pretty much where it ends. Now, like I said, when I first saw this, I really thought it was just another one of those moments where someone goes on there, does something really dramatic like this to try and get some attention to their social media presence, because he does plug it a couple of times, really. He mentions it throughout the episode, like in his intro and stuff. But upon further inspection, looking it up fucking 7 years later, he really does just act like this. This is his real, genuine behavior from what I can tell. with all of the charges that he's accrued over his life, as well as how he continues to post on his social media, I'm pretty confident in saying that this was actually just him being him. So yeah, I just wanted to revisit this moment here because it's probably like the weirdest guest Dr. Phil has had on in terms of how everything played out on the episode. So yeah, just wanted to remind everyone of this, and that's really about it. So yeah. Manfred Kibbles, the dog food whisperer. And this was an early adopter of YouTube right here, May 30th, 07. Nice.
CTT. 4 very, very high quality premium dog foods with us today.
Ooh, Gravy Train, I don't know that one. Does he eat these? Or does he just talk to him?
My puppy won't stop peeing.
Okay.
Well, you've come to the right spot to cure that. This is what YouTube's about, eating dog food for 4,000 views 13 years ago. Describe it, please.
It's not bad. It actually smells like Captain Crunch
No way.
with a hint of tuna. Which is interesting because it's chicken flavor. But it smells like tuna and Captain Crunch.
I'm gonna have to get myself a can of Gravy Train to test that.
I'm looking. Okay, let's take a little nibble, huh?
Oh my man! This is what YouTube is all about. Fuck yeah, eating dog food. No shame. This was before clout even existed.
Yeah, it's not very good.
That doesn't look too bad. I think Manfred Kibble might give that a passing grade.
Forkful here of Cadillac.
Yeah, it looks like straight from Gordon Ramsay's kitchen.
Okay, if this tastes half as good as it smells, I think I'm going to be a very happy man. There's texture. I think it's little pieces.
Some say Manfred Kibbles tries every dog food before it ships out to major
Really
retailers.
talking like a hamburger helper here. This is,
If Manfred Kibbles doesn't like it, it just doesn't make the cut.
Another bite if no one's counting calories, which I'm not. I was just on the South Beach diet, so I'm gonna splurge a little bit here today.
It can't be real dog food he's eating,
Really
right?
good dog food.
There's no way.
We have.
But I can't even think of food that would look like this.
Because if you don't like chicken, you've got like chicken byproduct. Looking at this, I don't know.
I
if you
thought
get a
dog
closer
food
look
was
at it,
toxic to
something you
human
haven't seen with
beings,
our
but
other
maybe
dog
Manfred
foods.
Kibble's
They
half
actually
dog,
put
half
every
man.
piece of dog food.
He's got the
through
body of a
a
man, but the
cold
insides of a
mini press.
dog.
Okay, I'm debating if this is actually dog food because it smells like human food. This smells very, very good.
No, this isn't dog food.
Wow.
It keeps giving like a little transition when he picks up the plate. He swaps it out. That's my theory, at least. But who am I to question the supreme wisdom of Manfred Kibbles? That's real dog food. You can't fake that. I've seen that kind of dog food all my life. Never tried it, but I might now. This man's straight chowing down on dog food. How much dog food does this man taste?
Favorite dog food?
The Misadventures of Baby Josh. Does he feed dog food to Baby Josh? Because if not, I'm not interested. God, we'll never know because he stopped making videos 12 years ago. Go. I'll subscribe just on the off chance he continues the saga. That's my second subscription ever. On this account, I guess. One day he will make a triumphant return. Manfred Kibbles has to come rate modern dog food. Without it, how am I going to know if what I'm feeding my dog is quality?
Sehr anziehend und sexy, wenn ich so sagen
I
darf.
hate planes.
Die Tragfläche an, was kriege ich sofort Vorstände und werde total.
I mean, not to be racist, I haven't met your boyfriend here. Maybe he's a good plane, but
Eine
I
Sache
just hate
zusammen,
flying.
es geht
Not a
nämlich,
fan.
heute
Not a fan at all.
Stockt mein Schatz, wo ich
Ooh,
auch
is this
seine
like porn?
Tragfläche streiche.
You might
Is the
be
plane of
surprised
legal
to know
age? How old
that
is it?
29-year-old Michelle.
Einen leblosen Gegenstand führt.
Ugh.
It's not
Objectophilia,
just
I almost
any
forgot
inanimate
about
object
that.
tickles her fancy.
That's
She
up there
is
with foot
particularly
fetishism. It's
enamored
very,
with
very
a
popular.
specific model. During her first flight in the Boeing 737.
Oh, a legendary flight to be sure. That wasn't turbulence you were feeling up there, huh? As far as Objectophilia goes, she seems relatively normal compared to the other ones we've seen. The one that fucks the Ferris wheel, the one that fucks the picket fence, the one that fucks his car.
So, Michelle has been granted some time with the Boeing 737.
Who's pimping out their daughter here for her? Or their son, excuse me. She booked quality time with someone's airplane? Lock that father up. He's running some type of objectophilia scam here with his plane. Whoring it out. She seems so happy-go-lucky about this.
Airport, the staff are here to escort Michelle.
Man, the booty call for a plane fetishist must be hard as shit to act on.
Right? Is that good?
Ooh, she just got so wet.
We'll fix that for you, okay? Fine.
I hope they put candles on the plane. Rose petals leading up to it.
Yeah. Oh, my name is Michelle. Nice to meet you.
What a cool name.
Thanks
Ulf.
so much. I can't believe it.
Sounds like that's the name he chose for his Dungeons and Dragons adventure. Yeah, I'm Ulf, from the swamps of Mordogbach.
Oh my goodness.
This may look like an aircraft hangar, but this is about to turn into a goddamn X-rated porn set.
Beautiful.
I hope they bring out little, like, RC-controlled planes.
Ist einfach
Make it a
großartig.
giant
Also,
orgy.
Ich kann's nicht glauben. Das ist perfekt.
Yeah, you goddamn right, he's got a nice cockpit in there,
Es ist einfach super schön.
About to turn into some, like, stepson shit
Mein Wunsch ist es
when the
auch,
bigger
dass ich
plane comes out.
mit ihm trotzdem verheiratet bin.
Consent. And she gives consent. Yeah. Good. Why not?
Who says if the plane
Yeah,
consents,
I
though?
like the plane.
Just because you're whoring out your plane here doesn't mean that it agrees to it.
Ah, nice.
Ooh, a backdoor reach around. Kinky on the first date. Ooh, a little rim job action.
Alleine bei ihm sein zu dürfen. Ich liebe dich, Schatz.
You don't even know him.
It was what, twice?
She didn't even get to flick her bean in there. Give her some alone time. She fucking flew here to make out with this plane. At least let her get some
Having spent nearly
orgasms
2
out of it or
hours with the
something.
plane, it's time for
Mark wants to donate a testicle for money. I'll give it a whirl. Mark seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got some life pro tips here.
Peanut butter and jelly, $1.
How the fuck is he spending $60 a month on like 400 calories worth of food and he's still fat?
In his own apartment.
How is that possible? You're lying to me, Mark. You're sneaking cheeseburgers out the back door of McDonald's in bulk.
Hi, I'm Mark. Would you mind if I throw in some laundry with you? Just a few things, not a lot. Maybe a few things? No. Okay.
Welcome to Skyrim. What a great conversation.
My name is Mark. I was wondering if you'd mind if I tossed in a few articles with your laundry?
Not today, adventurer.
No. Please get a vodka and cranberry.
Yes.
Excuse me, would you mind if I threw some clothes in your ass? This guy's not a real cheapskate. A real cheapskate wouldn't get a dog because that's an extra expense. He has to get dog food.
These are the Ebola I studied.
You're lying to me,
This
Mark.
is my favorite. And waiting to do is this testicular study. What you do is you go
Well, let's
in,
take a
you
peek at those
donate one of
testicles,
your
Mark.
testicles, they replace it with an artificial
Plant them on
one,
the camera.
and when you check out after...
See, Dr. Goldsmith will be right with you.
All right.
Okay?
Very casual attire for a doctor's office.
So, what's monthly budget of $25 for our groceries?
Well, the household grocery budget goes towards everything that we share. We actually share
$25 for groceries and he has a 24-pack of Bud Light sitting in his fridge? Yeah, I'm sure, baby boy.
that we share. We actually
You
share.
think you can lie to me on this show? Are you kidding
Sometimes
me?
he likes to eat women, and I don't want Rick to die and me be stuck with a huge funeral bill. I can get it now at half the cost.
Ah, so you're gonna kill him. And you get his life insurance money. That's pretty smart, Carissa. Now that's an extreme cheapskate speedrun. Quick money, and you lose the expense of having a husband.
Nervous?
Now we're cooking. Okay, I get you,
We're
Carissa.
basically
Finally, something
looking
that
for
makes
the cheapest
sense.
deal that we can possibly get. I mean,
Cheap. These are our cheapest caskets.
so on these.
Is that really necessary, though? Can we just use, like, a bucket and we can chop them
what's
up?
this? I don't even know what
Save
that's
money on a
called.
casket?
How much would that reduce the?
Be cheap.
Yes.
That's also another good point. Why are they holding a funeral, like, professionally? They could just do it in their backyard.
Life into it, but looking at how they want to do it.
Then they wouldn't even need a casket. And he turns into fertilizer for the plants out back, which saves her money on fertilizing.
Burial, one funeral, one everything.
Carissa, are you even thinking?
It's between $1,800 and $2,800.
Preposterous.
Cheaper if we just did,
Can't we just use cardboard?
fewer letters like our initial.
The entire purpose.
Are
of
they
it is to have your
siblings?
name
No,
on
they're
it.
man
So
and wife.
To save
But I
a
guess it's
little
not
bit of
mutually
money
exclusive. They could be
by
siblings. I don't know.
Removing $800 or $900 to $1,100 or $1,200.
No deal.
I was pretty shocked.
You get it down to 400 or else you're going in the ground.
Stone actually is.
I'm not paying a dime over
Do you have
50.
any, stone that
They're used at the foot of a grave when you have
Unnecessary.
Like an
Can we
upright
just use a
stone.
bag of sand?
But you know,
we're gonna be
That's
the
a good
cheapest we
point, mean
can.
priest. Honestly, they should just get cremated. It'd be far cheaper than all of this. Then it's only one urn. Little Bastard Harassing Residential Neighborhood Part 2. That sounds like a good title. See, that's finally something that sounds interesting. Great start. Is the cameraman a child molester?
Had a bag on his head. He's a bag boy.
You got him there. Take that. If only you could hear that.
And as he headed...
Why is he hanging out of the car looking like Scarecrow from Gotham? Like if Scarecrow is part of the ICP Juggalos. Is that a breathalyzer? What are you blowing? .2? Well, I'm invested now in this story. Do they finally get him? Glamour pool ugly bitch getting off work. Now she's blowing her fucking horn again. What? What the fuck is happening here? I'll leave it a like. Glamour pool piece of shit bitch getting off work. Now she's blowing her fucking horny. Damn, she's doing it the other way, the reverse. I'll leave it a like. I'm getting invested. Glamour pool bitch at it again. Jesus Christ, there's no mercy out here, no laws. I'll leave it a like. 61 possible murderers on Staley Road. What the fuck has happened? Is it that glamour pool bitch again? I'm expecting an army of murderers. Looks like this tree has a nutsack. What if he's telling the truth and just like 61 like serial killers rise from the dead in the background, like fucking Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Gein, Hitler, all of them just terrorizing Staley Road. Whoop up on my butt boy, not gonna happen to his lifetime. Well, he did a whoop up on his butt boy. Asshole blowing his air horn third morning in a row. Sounded more like a train whistle. But I'm no expert. I'll trust your expertise. Moron that thinks he's a fire truck. Who in their right mind could possibly think they're a fire truck? Human beings don't even have wheels. This guy must be insane. Is his whole channel just enforcing the speed limit? Holy shit. And he really hates the glamour pool bitch. She must have done some real fucked up shit to him. Staley Road has its own little Batman here. My god. Not a single car goes unnoticed on Staley Road, even if you're driving the speed limit. Your school dollars at work, and every child is leaning out giving him the finger. It must be that glamour pool bitch.
Look. This is our school system.
Why does he think everyone's a child killer? The whoop-ass man of Fort Myers?
I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Oh god.
Okay.
You understand me?
He's got a cigarette too. He will
Okay.
fuck you up. Do not anger Hulk Hogan.
Go ahead.
Hulk Hogan mixed with a little Duck Dynasty
Hey,
genes.
you on a public road.
We never caught the Zodiac Killer, nor DB Cooper, but by golly, I tell you what, you know who we did catch? The Cucumber Butthole Blaster. And I'd say that's good enough. For 7 months, Washington, D.C. citizens have slept in fear, paralyzed with anxiety over the thought that he was out there. Nothing was safe. And for 7 months, we didn't know if he'd ever actually be brought to justice, thrown in the slammer for his degenerate actions with a cucumber. I made a video 7 months ago covering the genesis of this villain. He was captured on camera going up to this car after pulling a cucumber from his lunchbox. He walked over with the big iron on his hip. He then grabbed the cucumber, slapped it into the grill of the car, and then fucked his ass with it. He rode it like a scooter. Well, that is if you ride scooters sitting down, I guess. He rode it like he was galloping on a horse, but it was a cucumber blowing out his fucking guts. Anyway, we have the chilling video camera footage of the event. I won't curse you with that again. I'm not trying to make this like a, the VHS tape from The Ring where you get your butt fucked in 7 days by a cucumber or something, just having watched this degenerate act. But basically, he put it in the grill of the car. He did that, captured on camera. It also happened to be like right next to a school. The whole thing just unbelievably disgusting. Turns out he has a history of doing sex acts like that around the area. This was the only cucumber one that's been reported. This is not what the VeggieTales died for, I'll tell you that much. But he has very extensive history with doing sex acts in public with things like handrails and rakes. And today, he's finally been sentenced.
Being sexually explicit with a cucumber in the middle of the day around the corner from a D.C. high school.
He was sentenced today for a string of sex acts near several families' homes.
What started as a search for a man pleasuring himself in public with a cucumber, now ending with a jail sentence for not one, but a string of alleged sex acts from late July into early September last year.
Now, in the first footage, the initial tapes that captured the cucumber incident where he slapped it in the car's grill, turning it into a unicorn and then cleaning his colon out with it, well, it wasn't just that. He then, after finishing with the car, grabbed the cucumber again and then just bent over and just full-blown, like he was playing a violin with the cucumber, but in his ass. And he did that a few times in and out, and then threw the cucumber back in the lunchbox and then went about his day. I speculated that he may have been out going to do it somewhere else, too. Like, it looked like the director's cut, where it would be like the cucumber butthole blaster will return at the end of, the fucking Thunderbolts movie. So, it was just... I had a theory that this wasn't a one-time thing. Turns out, I was correct. I think most people speculated that, though, by the way. It wasn't like a crazy call for me here. He has a history of doing this. You saw a couple of photos there where he's, riding the handrails, and he was apparently inserting, the end of handrails up his butt.
Mere yards down the street where 31-year-old Anthony Hines II was caught on camera in broad daylight with the vegetable he just pulled from a lunchbox. Court documents show a string of similar incidents, mostly involving handrails. And one, police explicitly said, is shaped like a pine cone. Another handrail, allegedly hit on 2 occasions, is now wrapped with what looks like sandpaper.
Honestly, just put that handrail out of its misery. Just send it to the fucking grave. It doesn't want to live anymore, I'll tell you that much. The sandpaper's only going to do so much. Just take it down, destroy it. It's ruined. It's completely ruined. This weirdo just cruising around Washington, D.C. on freaky mode. Anytime he sees a handrail, he just gets a boner. Also, when he was doing all of these things, did he go to completion till he ejaculated? It's already a huge health hazard, just putting his bare anus on all of these handrails and handles of rakes. I feel like that's a pretty serious thing. There's probably people that use those handrails and maybe got sick fucking pink eye or something, cholera, I have no idea, E. coli. It feels like a pretty big deal to me. But his sentencing was very light. I'll spoil the surprise. He got sentenced to 360 days in jail, but he's only going to be serving 6 months and then some probation. I think that's less than a slap on the wrist. He's going to do it again. For 6 months, he will probably, when he gets out, I would imagine the next day, park your cars in the garage or hide them under some trees somewhere, anywhere out of sight, because there is going to be a rampage with this man and every vegetable he can find at the supermarket. He will be going everywhere, putting everything in his butt across all of Washington, D.C. Mark my words. That is not nearly punishment enough for this, I think.
Footage in one homeowner's backyard reportedly caught Hines using the handle of a garden rake in a sex act.
Public or private, anywhere in your backyard, man, it's not appropriate, I don't think.
Homeowners impacted told me they're relieved for a bookend to the bizarre case, including one whose SUV was targeted with the cucumber, saying she's grateful for the police work, adding, quote, "I'm thankful to the community for helping crack the case of the vegetable voyeur and look forward to enjoying farmers market season in peace."
Yeah, it is nice he was arrested and will be going to jail, but it's not for that long. You can enjoy the farmers market for approximately 6 months. This dude, upon being released, I would wager a guess will probably walk down the steps, take down his britches, and immediately start flossing his ass crack with the handrail outside the jailhouse. That would be my guess. This is definitely someone who is just out of control. He has a history of doing this with handrails, the fucking handle of a garden rake, a cucumber on some stranger's car right next to a school. Like, come on.
And just today, Hines was sentenced for 5 counts of lewd, indecent, or obscene acts, 4 counts related to accessing private property when he wasn't supposed to be there. He did plead guilty and was sentenced to 360 days in jail, but will serve 6 months according to the terms after pleading guilty, and an additional 2 years of probation.
I can't help but just think about that sandpaper handrail one more time real quick. Was that like a preventative measure that they put there? Like they wrapped it in sandpaper to try and discourage copycat criminals from fucking themselves on it? Or did he, the cucumber butthole blaster, wrap it in the sandpaper for his pleasure? And then the question becomes, how did he not just leave it covered in blood? Like, if he wrapped in sandpaper and then just started, bouncing on it crazy style, how did he not rub all the skin off of his sphincter? So to me, it feels like it was put there after the fact, and I don't see how that does anything at all. It just feels, that whole tidbit of lore there with that handrail post asshole incident is just a little confusing to me, but maybe I'm just not thinking about it properly and can't fully grasp the real intention behind the sandpaper. I think it's also worth mentioning, these are the only cases we know of. There's a chance that every handrail in Washington, D.C. has faced the wrath of this man's asshole. Like, we can't rule out that possibility. This is only what he's been caught with here on these handrails, and that garden rake, and that cucumber on that car. But it could have been spanning years. Only God has that information. We can't possibly seek to understand how long he's been doing this, or how many handrails have been compromised out there. Stay safe, Washington, D.C. Yes, he may be going to jail, but the damage that his anus has done, well, there's no telling the extent. Anyway, I just want to kind of give you the update here on this story. Pretty wacky, wild, and disgusting one, huh? That's really about it. See ya. I feel the need to apologize in advance for this, but I cannot help myself. I have to show you this and talk about it. This is a full-blown Jesus wept situation. This is one of those degenerate acts that the Lord up in heaven turns his head away from in shame with tears in his eyes. Matt sent me this earlier today. I can't even believe this is a real sentence I'm going to say. There's a villain on the loose in Washington, D.C. right now, a true menace to society, a maniac on the loose. And a Reddit user caught them in 4K on camera where they put a cucumber in the grill of their vehicle, an innocent civilian's vehicle. This dude comes up, puts a cucumber in the grill, and then fucks himself with it. I'll show you some of the footage here, and I gotta tell you, it seems premeditated. I don't think this is his first rodeo here. Also, according to some people in the comments, they actually recognized his M.O. Apparently, he's done this cucumber butt fucking across Washington before. So anyway, this guy comes over, and he sticks the cucumber in the grill of that car, like Neil Armstrong planting the American flag on the moon. He also appears to be a master magician because that sleight of hand was impressive. I didn't even see the cucumber in his hand at any point until he reached the vehicle. It's like he just spawned it in, just conjured the cucumber out of thin air. So he makes sure that it's firmly planted in there like Excalibur into the stone. And also, the Reddit user gave a brief explanation for why there's like a hole in that fence. According to the lore, 3 kids crashed a stolen car into their fence last week, which created this hole, which the Cucumber Crusader used to get access to the vehicle. I can hear that Nissan Rogue crying out in agony right now. He is sexually assaulting this poor Nissan here. In broad daylight, too. Like, he looks around once just to check if anyone's watching, and then just goes for it. It wasn't exactly the most thorough sweep of the area, but who knows, maybe he's on a 3 cucumber ass streak, so he's got a UAV online, so he knew it was clear. He knew the coast was clear. So he just starts bouncing on it for a while, and then a car comes by. But he had like a spidey sense that was tingling, so before the car turned the corner, he must have heard it, I suppose. So he stops riding the cucumber. So he gets off the mechanical bull here and waits for the car to pass. He looks so annoyed that this car is passing through, like, come on, man, really? This is private property. Can't you see I'm busy? Go on, scram, get out of here. I got business to tend to. He pops the cucumber out of the car, at least most of it, according to the Reddit post. 2/3 or so was left in the grill of the car. That is a big-ass cucumber. Emphasis on ass cucumber. Like, that shit is the size of Kevin from SpongeBob. And also, it doesn't seem like he lubricated it either. At no point does he, like, spit on it or anything. He just raw dogs the cucumber on the grill of this Nissan. I don't know how he didn't tear his entire butthole off by taking a cucumber dry up the pooper. That is craziness. So anyway, though, he's all disappointed now that his session was interrupted, so he takes his trusty steed, walks back over to his lunchbox, puts out his cigarette, and then we go into phase 2 of the boss battle. He drops his trousers again, and this time he just starts shoving the cucumber in his ass while he's like somewhat bent over. I can't show you any footage of that one, obviously, but you know, he doesn't even need the cars anymore. He's done with props. He cracks his knuckles and says, "Fine, I'll do it myself." This whole video is unhinged, but perhaps the most insane part about it is something I can't show you because his ass is out. But when he finishes plungering his asshole, he puts the cucumber back in his lunchbox. Dude just drops a stinky poo-cumber into his lunchbox and then walks away with it. It's like an ambiguous open ending to Inception here, where you, the viewer, get to decide what he did with it next. In my headcanon, he just goes and eats it. Like, I feel like he probably ate that ass pickle. But it's also equally possible that, he takes his sidekick to another car, and the cycle repeats itself again with him ass blasting himself on the hood of another person's vehicle. By far, the most degenerate thing I've seen this year. I think I can safely say that. Now, this story has somewhat blown up, at least in Washington. It's been picked up by quite a few outlets. And the location where this act happened is right next to a school. And I mean right next to a school. Like, you could actually shoot a spitball and probably hit it from the place where this guy stuck a cucumber in his butt. This area is apparently used by students pretty often. Like, they walk down that alley to get to school. A lot of people go down this area. It's a high traffic zone. And this dude did that there. It is so fucking gross. This whole thing is so disgusting. But yeah, I just had to talk about this a little bit. If you live in the Washington, D.C. area, sleep in fear. Maybe, like booby trap the grill of your car just in case he happens to roll through and your car piques his interest. Maybe like some barbed wire a little bit on the front of the grill or something. I'm not really sure how to stop it, but good luck out there. As of right now, he's still at large. So, yeah, that's really about it. See ya.